Hey, John.
Hey, Ringo, how are you, sir?
Oh, great. What a great line we've got.
Yeah, very nice. No delay or anything.
Nothing. Incredible. Nice to talk to you, John.
Good to talk to you.
To
so, where are you calling us from today?
I'm calling you from England today.
Ah. And how is it in England today?
It's fabulous.
Excellent. What is a typical Ringo day like?
Oh, get up around about 8 o'clock and then do a lot of stuff all day, which takes all day. It depends on the day. I mean, there's no real typical day, is there? I mean, you get up, sometimes you got stuff to do, sometimes you don't, sometimes stuff in the afternoon. I can either, wander around the fields with my dog, I can paint, I can, write a few songs, whatever. Whatever goes down in the day, that's what I do. There's no, typical day.
It's good to be you, man.
It is. It's great to be me.
Now, you mentioned the painting, and one of the reasons we're talking to you is we're bringing your art to the masses. We've got an art show coming up.
Yeah.
Friday through Sunday, the 23rd to the 25th, and all the proceeds from whatever is sold will go to your Lotus Foundation. Now, obviously, everybody knows you from the music thing. When did you start painting?
Well, I actually started a long time ago. I not serious in any way, but I started around about 1990, and I was painting in acrylics then. And then I had a friend who was an actual painter who then mentioned that, Rembrandt didn't paint in acrylics, and taught me a bit about painting in oils. But the stuff we're going to see at this exhibition is when I'm on tour, I have my computer with me. So these are all computer-generated art, stuff I've done on the computer while I'm sitting in all those strange hotels you have to sit in when you're touring. So it keeps me occupied. And Neil Glazer came, he's the guy who put it together, and said, do you want to do something with it? I wasn't even thinking about it, really, because, it's like a personal thing. Anyway, I thought, well, if I'm going to do something, let's, make it for a good cause. So Neil and I picked out 12, 14 of the images and decided that, we'd put it into the Lotus Foundation.
And the Lotus Foundation is the charity that you and your wife have started?
It is. Bob and I started it about 7 years ago now. And so I thought, well, how great. We can fund it with, with these paintings. So if anybody goes to the show, remember, it's all for a good cause.
Now, what is your inspiration when you're sitting in these hotel rooms? I mean, what makes you just go to the computer and start working on these things? Is it just sheer boredom, or do you get inspired?
Well, I think what happens is I start because I'm sitting in a hotel room, and then when you see the paintings, because you haven't seen them yet, have you?
I've seen some of them online.
Well, yeah. Well, the point with them is then, I just keep doing them, and then I tried to pick some that have more expression than some of the others. And sometimes I'm halfway through them, and I just don't like where it's going, and I just press delete, and it goes. You know what I mean? It's not like, you've got to, scrub out all the paint on a canvas. With this, you press one button, and you start again.
Now, do you have any favorites of the works that you've done? I know it's a lot like picking your favorite child.
It is. It's all, these are my favorites of that batch. And this year I just did last year I did two new ones, which are I'm calling them the women, because all of my heads, they're all heads, all seem to be a little mannish. And so I decided just to consciously, to keep it rolling for a while, do these two women, which one is Hold Me, Love Me, and the other one is, what, $50? You see, well, there's the joy. Hearing you laugh gives me joy, because that's what I get out of them. It's whatever comes to my mind at the moment.
Well, that's one of the quotes I read getting ready for this interview is you said, I've got to name them something.
Yeah. Well, you have to on the computer. You know what I mean? The computer wants to know what the name is, and then you can go to it instantly.
Excellent.
And so, I just, that's what I call them. I mean, the literal sense I use is I did a painting of a man with a hat, so he is now called Hat Man. There's nothing complicated in any of this.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense because you go to some of the museums here in D.C. and you look at these paintings and it's like, cat drinking tea under an umbrella, and it's abstract, and you couldn't see a cat if your life depended on it.
Yeah, or an umbrella in some cases.
This is true. Speaking of your children, your son Zach was in town last night with the Who.
How was he?
He was great.
Yeah, he's an incredibly great drummer. I'm so proud of him. He's so good.
Well, it's in the genes, obviously.
What, Levi's?
So tell us exactly what the Lotus Foundation does.
Well, the Lotus Foundation, we've decided, we do contribute to major charities like the Red Cross, like WaterAid, major ones. But mainly we help start-up charities, and we guarantee them a certain amount for 3 years. And we have such a wide base, for all the reasons that we've decided. If you're starting up, we'll guarantee that, you get a certain amount for 3 years, so you don't have to worry about that. Or you've been started for a short amount of time. So we split it between many small charities and several large charities.
Spreading the wealth, as it were.
Well, it is, and it's important that somebody is starting up a charity and they want to know that the phone bill is going to be paid or the rent is going to be paid, And we don't support any charity that sends me a color brochure, because then you think, oh God, they spent $50,000 on the color brochure. It could have been well served helping people, children, all over the world.
That's an excellent point. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, but they feel that, and all those extravagant big parties they have, charity parties, it's really, I feel, just for people who want to hang out. Because, by the time they've taken the price of the party out of it, not a lot in the end goes to the charity. But, hey, God bless them. Because in the end, anything that goes to help is good.